On with it! Hey! Get on!
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to the Queen's Park Savannah. We are live. We are bringing to you the Panorama 1991 finals. Tonight we expect to hear from 6 old-time steel bands and 12 conventional steel bands in a night of glorious pan. With me tonight on the panel is Jocelyn, our musicologist, graduate of McGill University, a singer, teacher, Calypso and pan judge, who has brought some very, very interesting comments from our preliminary stage to this pan, which I'm sure you'll be looking forward to hearing from her tonight. Also on the panel is David Waddell, a former captain of a steel band, player, arranger, and a guy who has interfaced with most of the pan men in this country and knows most of them by the first name. He will be giving us some inside feelings about the arrangements, the players, the type of strategy to be employed on a night like this. And as only David can. Well, what have we got lined up? The first Pan Round the Neck band, Hope Pan Groovers, are already chipping onto the stage. We have 6 Pan Round the Neck, old-time steel bands as they're called. Hope Pan Groovers in position number 1. The TCL Skiffle Bunch in position number 2, Pan on the Move in position 3, Voices in position 4, ACL Trinidad Nostalgic in position 5, and in the 6th and final position we have the band Worldwide Steel Orchestra. The defending champions are Worldwide Steel Orchestra, having won in 1990. And the other 5 steel bands have qualified to come here from a list of about 35 odd Pan Round the Neck that participated in the preliminaries, and I think it was a further 12 that participated in the semi-finals. While the first band tonight will be playing the popular tune by Super Blue, Get Something and Wave. And in fact, we're going to be hearing that a couple of times during this section of the show. Both the 1st, 4th, and the 5th band is expected to play Super Blues tune. Hope Pangrove is the 1st band we'll be hearing tonight. Jocelyn, just quickly, can you tell our viewers what sort of a night are you expecting?
I'm expecting a feast of pan, really. So many exciting things have been done already, and I'm expecting that people will even make it better. You know, they've all gone home to do some homework and to come up with something even more special. So I'm looking forward to the finest of pan coming from Trinidad and Tobago, which I consider the mecca of pan, despite everyone else's comment maybe. I'm really looking forward to Amoko Renegades trying to defend, and the other big bands coming down who are determined to take away the championship this evening. So I think it's going to be very, very nice indeed.
Okay, and some introductory remarks from David Waddell.
Well, tonight is a make or break situation. We are going to have some very stiff competition tonight. Nothing is going to be easy, and I think the key to everything tonight is going to be the draw. That is speaking especially of the conventional side of the program. The draw, I believe, is going to be the key to everything. The standard of the level of performances we have had, the level of musical expression we have had, I think the draw is the thing now.
We're definitely going to develop that point later, David. But right now we are looking at the first segment of tonight's action. And we have Pan Round the Neck side on stage playing Super Blues, Get Something and Wave. They're already lined up. And in case you're wondering where this band is from, they would hope to tell you that they are from Tobago, and they are playing in position 1, Get Something and Wave by Super Blue. So let's join the stage side now as the house announcer makes the final announcement, and band number 1 gets ready to start the proceedings tonight. A total of 50 players, the maximum for the Panorama the next night. Arranger Tony Williams. The captain is Selwyn Alexander. Band number 1, Hope and Groovers with Get Something and Wave. Rovers, led by their captain Selwyn Alexander, an arrangement by Tony Williams, on fans tuned by David Isaac and Neville Moraldo. And for number one position, they've certainly set this crowd afire, Jocelyn.
They did. They had a nice big sound, although they're a small band of 50 players. They did a lot of fancy work on their tenors, very clean runs, a lot of little sequences and so on. They dropped chromatically, and I thought they made a lot of imaginative things with this tune and with the amount of pans they have there this evening.
Yes. And David, in terms of a pan around the neck and arranging for it, how did you think that they coped with this arrangement?
Well, at the beginning I was a little confused as to whether they were using the basses and the dodops together, and I think they were doing that. They were phrasing the dodop with the bass, so the melodic line they should get from the bass, that was dampened by the song of the dodop. What usually would happen there is that they use the bass, and in between the bass, alternating with the bass, they use the dodop and get that rhythm and get the bass note moving.
Yes,
but they were not doing that.
I think it's important for a lot of people to realize that the dodop in effect is of indeterminate pitch. It doesn't really play a tuned note as such, so that what you're saying is that by playing it on top of the bass, this created a particular effect, whether it was planned by the arranger or not.
I think it had to be planned by the arranger because they were phrasing exactly as the bass was phrasing.
Yeah.
Do you think it helped or it obscured the bass?
It obscured the bass. But I don't know if they wanted it so.
Well, I thought you heard it better, you know, and I noticed they had two bass pans on the outside and the front, which made you hear the bass.
No, the bass was sung more powerful.
Yes.
They wouldn't get distinction, you know.
In the pitch.
Correct.
It could be a ploy, because if you find that the band has insufficient bass, they could use that to just get the power.
Okay, right, we will take a break and then we come back for band number 2, the TCL Skiffle Bunch.
Dad, are you ready? Let's see Louis' speech. Wow, Dad! No cavities in the front and back. Good, Dad, no cavities. Looking them free. Remember to brush your teeth after every meal to keep your teeth clean and strong.
Now let's see the dentist's teeth. Have you brushed your teeth yet?
Yes, see how clean?
For healthy white teeth, your family can depend on the fluoride protection of Pepsodent.
Open a SIRA at the Bank of Commerce and make $15,000 grow faster. SIRA offers you unmatched interest rates plus other commerce convenience features. Check the newspapers or any branch of the Bank of Commerce for more details.
You set the trend. You are a winner. You got the blend. You got the taste. Do it in style. Real smoking pleasure. The taste of satisfaction. Du Maurier. I get what I want with Du Maurier. You're doing it my way.
Welcome back to the Savannah, where we started with a grandstand that was packed to capacity, bursting at the seams. North stand, which was just about 50% full, but which has been increasing in numbers almost while the first band was playing. And we expect a mammoth crowd here tonight for this Panorama 1991 finals. Well, coming on stage next is band number 2, the TCL Skiffle Bunch. An arrangement by Boogsie Sharpe of Bali's Calypso Coup. The band is led by Junior Waddell, and the pans are tuned by Hillman Guppy Brown. This is a band that has had some measure of success at the pan around the neck level, and in fact were dethroned last year by Worldwide, and has been, I think, the champions for 2 or 3 years running. So no doubt they'll be coming to bounce back into winners row this year, and we expect a fighting performance by them tonight. In terms of an arranger like Boogsie Sharpe, David, working between a pan round the neck side and a conventional band, what adjustments would he have to make for arranging for a pan round the neck side?
An ordinary arranger would have to make adjustments, but you must remember, Boogsie is in this game since he was 3. So Boogsie actually played Panorama in it, even though he's such a young fellow. He has the Panorama neck experience. As a little boy, he experienced Panorama neck in Orchestra.
Well, Moko Jambi is leading this band on stage, and you can't get more old time than that. And this is most interesting that almost from the word go, the Panorama exercise have put a lot of effort into their performance tonight.
A lot of thought.
A lot of thought. I like to get something and wave that the last band pulled out this thing and got rid of it and went back into the tune so easily.
And they gave a little shout too, you know. They gave a little singing section. But this is really beautiful with this Moko Jambi. Very tall here. I would say about, what, 12 feet or something? He's on very tall still.
He's looking at it.
At least 12 feet off the ground his head is right now.
He's looking at it. Not 12 feet?
Yeah.
Huh?
Very comfortable.
Yeah, extremely comfortable up there, man.
It's really nice.
They've also got some attractive banner ladies, David.
I tell you.
Yeah. You know, there's a thing about Moko Jambis, you know, Alvin. The Hangago Carnival. They say Moko Jambi is only drinking upstairs house. So they go from window to window taking drink.
Well, we've got 7 judges for this section of the Panorama 1991 finals tonight, and I'll call them out for you. We've got Merle Albino Di Cotto, Roy Edwards, I believe is a qualified musician, as well as having played in Phase 2 Panjo. We've got a best of both worlds here. Joan Baker-Seifel, Junior Pouchette, former Pan Man and now based in Miami with the Disney World people. Junior Howell, an experienced judge serving with us a long time. Esther Batson, mother of Dawn Batson, who worked with us up to last year in the TCL booth. And Edward Henry. So those are the 7 judges for tonight. And the system, Jocelyn, of the high and the low, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, I think they're going to throw out the high marks and the low marks this evening, which is going to, they think, tighten up the judging, you know. But sometimes I think it shakes up the whole results and comes out with something else. But I think this was put in to counteract anybody being over enthusiastic about a particular band or giving a very low mark to another band. And it is felt by Panther and Bego that if you throw out the upper and the lower, you'll get a truer perspective of the judges' panel. But I think it's debatable, and a lot of people are not too happy, but nevertheless, that is the system that is used.
So with 7 judges, in fact, your maximum score is?
It will be 500, because you'll be using either scores of 5 judges.
Right. And David, in the pan round the next side, we find that the range of pans that they are actually using these days a little bit more sophisticated than the days of old. But the house announcements are coming up. We'll talk a little bit more about that afterwards. So we prepare for band number 2, the TCL Skiffle Bunch. Their captain is Junior Roswello. They're playing on pans tuned by Herman Guppy Brown, an arrangement of Len Boogsie Sharpe of Bali's Calypso Coup. In position number 2, the Trinidad Cement Limited Skiffle Bunch. Position number 2, the TCL Skiffle Bunch, a band which placed first in 1985, 1987, and 1988, and they were the runner-up last year in the year 1990. TCL Skiffle Bunch giving a most imaginative performance of Valley's Calypso Coup.
They began with a kind of a jamming type song. You know, it's an unusual way to have the introduction. The verse and chorus was well played, but true to form, you know, Boogsie fragments the melody a lot and works with pieces, a phrase here, a phrase there, so that you can get a hint of the melody in between, but he's always doing something very different with the rest of the music. You had a lot of little motifs worked in there, particularly chromatic motifs. I suspect he uses, it's all centered around sol, or the dominant of the scale. There was a break towards the end in the lower pans. It was filled in but with a little musical motif there by the, and came out quite well. I thought that was a fast pace, and I thought they maintained it and they kept it well.
Yes, very well indeed. And David,
again, Alvin, I want to go on that bass. That's a long neck bass situation. Do you remember some years ago we were doing, I think it was probably 2 years ago, we were doing a commentary on, I think it was Oitonians with a double bass.
Right.
Remember the difference between Oitonians and the other bands with the double bass? Where you were hearing a natural bass line going.
Right, because the guy was able to lift, I think, as many as 4 pounds off the ground and hold it on stage during the entire performance.
No. These bands tonight are using what is known as the dodo. Now, Skiffle Bunch usually uses the dodo, right? They use basses too, but they use the dodo as the principal bass line. Now, the life of the band is the dodo. But Pan Around Your Neck, dodo was an extremely early stage in Pan Around Your Neck. Pan Around Your Neck had actual conventional basses. Basses with notes. If you have 5 notes on a bass, you have like A, B, C, C, and a sharp. 5 notes on a bass. They used to play probably a simple calypso in C or in A. And they used to follow, they were asking about the range just now. Actually the range in Pan Long Neck in the 50s was a wider range than what is used here now.
I see.
It is, yeah.
Okay, David, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we may catch a little bit of that for band number 3, which is Hand on the Move.
We looking for road march, we come out to jam. With our beer in the hand, yes, we have it fun. It's carnival all over this land. Hey, so hold up your car, turn up the music, drink the beer of the land. Yes, man. Come with the carib, hold up your carib, come with the carib, hold up your carib. Yes, we liming, fencing, whining, wailing, jamming with the carib.
Boy, hit him, bum, 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 on the beat. Wicked, 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 bum, 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 on the beat.
Kevin, go down by the phone and call your father. Tell him to pick up your sister. Jamil car breakdown.
Oh gosh, and we mash up the phone booth last night.
DFCT, we keep you in touch.
It's calling you. Inviting you to share.
Share our little happiness.
A little touch of pleasure.
From that so lonely.
Ah, happiness draws you near.
Share our little happiness.
Pan on the Move was Trinidad Nostalgic. Is that correct, Van?
Oh, yes?
Should we go? And we'll write it.
And on stage is the first of 2 bands from Arima, a band called Pan on the Move. And they, in fact, will be playing Calypso Coup as well, that's tuned by Bali, which has been quite popular with both the Panorama exercise and the conventional band. And David, we were talking a while ago about some of the changes that have been we've been experiencing in Panorama. One of the things I noticed in the last band was the use of a sort of a device to keep the pans away from the body. And one of the things that was entered in the Pan Innovation Awards, and which a lot of the Panorama next time seems to be adopting.
Well, the body would dampen the sound of the pan. You know, in the old days, we used to carry the pan on our bodies. But
well, they seem to be making a house announcement on band number 3, which is Pan on the Move, and they are led by Keith Lopez. They will play Bali's Calypso Coup. The pans are tuned by Boogsie Marshall. So we go stateside and pick up the performance of band number 3 in the old-time category, if you want to call it that, playing Bali's Calypso Coup from Arima. It's Pan on the Move. of Bally's Calypso Coup on fans tuned by Al Gillies and B. Marshall. And for her impressions, we go over to Jocelyn.
Well, I found they had a nice solid start, and they used this little motif on So On Me as a basis of the introduction, and then they got into the verse and the chorus. I found this band has a heavy sound. Dave could probably elaborate there, but I still heard the tenors. I couldn't hear the inner band. They used the method of creating little bridges in between their variations, and they did a funny thing there. Well, funny in that they would start the verse and not really finish it. Halfway through it, break out into a little jam session, which is just a different way to work it. They used the bass, a cut, and they would fill in the little breaks there with a bass motif, and then they came in with a tenor motif in the second.
They get you by the cut. That's so perfect.
They made some key changes that were really nice. They turned their sixth effects and so on. I thought, and they came to a good climax at the end.
Yes, and David, this band is doing something which I know you like, chipping off stage with the tune after.
Now you want the public to learn of my envy for them, eh?
What your thoughts on their performance then?
Well, this is the first time they are performing at the Big Yard on final night, and that would not be without its jitters. But I think that they had an excellent performance under the conditions. I think it's a good little band, and they seem to be set for some sort of making an impression on somebody's mind.
Right, and when we come back, I want to ask you about the heaviness of their song, but we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we'll talk more about that band's performance.
The volume pump up, the volume pump up, the volume pump up, pump up.
Now, get 20% off all Deal Mist sprays. 20% off Deal Mist for men, women, boys, and girls. Natural pump action Deal Mist. Perfumed protection, not pressure.
You open a solo Bentley and coolness has arrived. Cool, refreshing flavor with a tangy pinch of lime. Solo Bentley. Solo Bentley. Cool as a river, gives you a shiver and it comes to life. Solo Bentley. Solo Bentley. With a solo Bentley, then you can see what the Bentley should be. A woman who's a man, and man must have his name, that no one can deny. And when two lovers meet, they still say, I love you. On that you can rely, no matter what the future.
For classic moments, Fernandez Black Label, the classic rum.
Welcome back to the Savannah, where the mood here is nothing short of exciting, and there are people in the north stands with fluorescent waving items, if I may call it that, and it's really developed into a beautiful mood for Pan tonight. And David, we were talking a bit about the heavy song from the last band. What do you think accounted for it?
The guitar pans. The guitar pans are that way. They seem to have a lot. They have balanced their bands. Their pans off the guitar pans. In pan long net, the guitar pan used to be a very important thing. The strumming of the guitar pan was the whole rhythm. And they have balanced their band on the guitar pan. And they are using bases to note bases. The 5 note bases I was speaking on earlier. They have a couple of those. If you listen, you'll hear the notes moving.
Yes, and the pan on the neck segment of this competition moving along quite smoothly. We are already into band number 4, listed as Voices, and they hail from Maracas in St. Joseph in the east, the second of 2 east bands here tonight. They are led by Gerard Henry, and they play on fans tuned by Mike and Marlon Bellamy. Sorry, Herman Guppy Brown and Leslie Bernard. The arrangers are Mike and Marlon Bellamy, which I suspect are 2 brothers. This band, Voices, did not qualify for the 1990 competition, nor the 1989. So, this looks like their first big outing to the yard in a couple of years, and surely they will want to make an impression on the public here as to why they should be here. They will be playing the popular tune Get Something and Wave by Super Blue, and every time this tune is played, it seems to sound just as fresh to the audience here because they all pull out their waving items and get crazy. Jocelyn, this tune must be well embedded in your mind by now.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I keep wondering if it's going to burn out, but I don't think it will because, you know, Carnival Monday is just a couple days ahead. I think it's going to remain fresh and may well be the road march because people just respond to waving something when they're jumping up, you know. In the fets everywhere you go, they love this simple thing of jumping up and waving something. And it definitely appeals.
Well, we have, let's see, three bands playing it on the pan around the neck, and we also have 3 bands scheduled to play it on the conventional bands. So we're going to be hearing a lot of it tonight.
And a couple of those are back-to-back, so, you know, I was thinking it's so unfortunate that they come one after the other. People mentally will compare the 2 arrangements.
Well, this all has to do with that little tricky thing called the draw. And Dave has had some special thoughts about it tonight and how it's going to affect the results of the conventional bands, and we'll get into that later on. But for now, we are into band number 4 of the old-time category, and the name of the orchestra is the Boldon Orchestra, playing Super Blues, Get Something and Wave, led by Gerard Henry, Pants tuned by Herman Guppy Brown and Leslie Bernard, an arrangement of Mike and Marlon Bellamy. So we go on to band number 4, the Voices Steel Orchestra.
Something and Wave, the Voices.
And number 4 out of a lineup of 6, the Voices Steel Orchestra with Super Blues, Get Something on Wave. And my impressions were that this was what I would call a genuine pan round the neck type song.
Yeah, but I liked it. I thought the pans were so well tuned, and I thought there was a good balance here. They put the melody into the second. Sometimes they made definite attempt to use those middle pans. A nice driving tempo. I like that. They use the chant and then they use an interpolation on the chant. That is bits and pieces of it, using it in different ways. They use a little dissonance, which is something that doesn't blend with the rest of the chording, and then they came back to the chording, which makes that such a nice, interesting feeling when you come back to it, because it didn't sound quite right. They had a nice jam session where the basses went ta 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 over and over like that, a repeated thing, and they just jam on top of it. They had a little chromatic rise. I thought it was a nice sound. I like the sound of this band.
David, the rhythm.
I like the rhythm.
Caught me, and I'm
yes.
sure it did catch you too.
Yes, I thought the rhythm was outstanding. Now they use the kettle drum. They use the kettle drum to advantage, and there were 2 other drums there, and those drums were
skin drums.
They go skin drums, and the echo that was coming between those 2, that matching up of that the old African rhythm was against the North American thing. They were getting a kind of drive that was very which added a lot to the tune. The Get Something on Wave was very lively.
In fact, the contrast I found of the frontline tenors, and I noticed there were a lot of female pan-rongi neck players in this band, which is something unusual for a pan-rongi neck band.
Well, this band originally was a school band. These are school children that have grown up
with the band.
Yeah. This is not a recent thing. This band has existence for some time.
Well, don't take me masochistic, Jocelyn, but just, we don't normally associate females with putting pan around their necks. But,
yes, man. yes.
And how far back can you remember seeing
there was a female in Tripoli by the name of Boogsie. Boogsie, and she was a very good player too.
Well, we could always depend on you for that.
Yes, she was a very good player.
But take a
Skiffle Bunch had some women.
We'll take a break, and then when we come back, we'll go to band number 5.
Convenience teller offers you quick cash 24 hours a day. The Bank of Commerce, more than you'd expect from a bank.
Your Sunday Guardian, Guardian of the Nation, continues updating you with exclusive pictures and the stories of Operation Desert Storm. Don't miss our colorful carnival coverage, the Pan War in the Savannah, the Kings and Queens, the Calypsonians for the showdown at Damascus, and more. This Sunday's package also includes the SG magazine, with focus on the men at the forefront of street soca. To complete our package, we present the Kids in Carnival and your favorite comic strips. Be sure to get your copy of the Sunday Guardian.
We looking for road march, we come out to jam. With our being behind, yes, we have it fun. It's carnival all over this land. Hey, so hold up your carrot, turn up the music, drink the beer of the land. Yes, man, I say come with the carrot. Hold up your carrot, come with the carrot. Hold up your carrot. Yes, we liming, fencing, whining, wailing, jamming with the carrot.
tick as people look forward to a fantastic night of pan. We've already heard from 4 pan on the next side that have given us sterling performances, and we look forward now to the Trinidad Nostalgic Field, which plays second at the preliminary level, and which is a band that always gives a good showing here. They will be also playing Super Blues, Get Something and Wave, and it's an arrangement by this Samaroo, a guy who in the conventional band category will be making a bid with 2 bands, Cordet and Renegade. So we move on to band number 5, the Trinidad Nostalgic, and if we look at some of their past performances, we see that in 1990 they placed 6th on the national semis and just failed by 1 position to get into the finals. In 1989 they placed 2nd in the semis, got into the finals, and placed 3rd on the final night. They did not qualify in 1988 and placed 6th in the finals, playing Bali's Party Time in 1987. In 1986, they also made it to the finals and placed 4th with David Brothers The Hammer. And so a band that has had some measure of success at this level, a band that has toured the Caribbean, played in Antigua, St. Vincent, and a couple other West Indian islands, and it's very, very organized, if I may say so. So we go on to band number 5, the Trinidad Nostalgic Field. And just a little bit more time before they're actually ready to perform. And David, the standard of the pan wrong the next side thus far, what's your impression?
I think the standard is very good. I think the standard is very good, you know. With pan wrong the neck you have some limitations. You can only do this far, no further. Because of the chords, you know, the problem.
You know, David, the number of pan wrong the next sides in the country has increased tremendously over the last 5 years. At one time, there were probably just about 15, and we're talking about 30 to 40 odd pan on the next side. In fact, someone was telling me that when they have meetings at the steel band level now, the pan on the next side almost dictates the direction that Pan San Diego is going to have to take with their competitions and whatnot, because they have as equal voting rights as the conventional band.
They would have an equal voting right, but the emergence of pan long neck band, I think, has to do with the significance, the importance put on the pandemic competition, and the dividend are much more attractive than the, for instance, what it would cost to get a pan long neck band going, and what you can win in prize money is more, more acceptable than that of the conventional band. Pan long neck band is much easier to control.
I'd like to say something here. I've always been thinking that these big bands have a hard time surviving, and that perhaps the way to go is to have a A side and a B side and a C side or something. But if you split your band into smaller sections, you'll get back. I remember the days when we had a pan side for a birthday party and all of that. But if they stay this large, the people cannot hire them. They can't enjoy the band.
But home. That's another advantage of pan long neck. They get jobs. They get party jobs.
Yes.
Okay, and the house announcements begin to come up on for band number 5, the Trinidad Nostalgic Field. They hail from the Gun Street in Arima. They will play Super Blues, Get Something and Wave, as arranged by this Samaroo on pan tuned by Herman Brown. Band number 5, the Trinidad Nostalgic Field.
Get Something and Wave by Super Blues.
band number 5, the Automotive Components Limited, Trinidad Nostalgic, playing this Samaroo arrangement of Super Blues, Get Something and Repeat.
And they had a quick pace, which I thought they kept very well. I thought it might have been too fast, but no, they made a success of it. They had a short introduction and went into their verse. I noticed they used a duduk. I think it must have been a duduk and a strong rhythm there. They put the melody in the second sometimes and had the tenors improvising above. They used the rhythm in the bass and they had the chant, you know, singing over it, which was really nice. There was a break once or twice. It's complete silence, and they moved up a semitone immediately into a new key. I like a little motif they use in the bass there. Mi, do, re, mi. They keep repeating it over and over and working the harmony of the band into it all the time. They went into a minor key, which was nice, and then I noticed they had a little chromatic rising sequence in the tenors towards the end as they were getting towards the climax. I thought this was a very nice arrangement, very imaginative.
Yes, David, and all of the Panorama and X-Sides have been making a good showing here tonight.
Definitely. Definitely. It's a make or break situation, Alvin. And I think everybody realizes this. You have had practice sessions going to the wee hours of the morning. You have friendships broken and all this kind of thing, you know. So this is a serious business.
In fact, there was a time when people were saying that the Panorama United has no place on this final night. And I think that they have come out and performed so well that I think people will want them here.
People enjoy them. They are very, you know, they're very light-hearted, sort of frolic music like, and people enjoy the Panorama. There are those people who say they came here to hear the conventional bands and they don't want to hear the Panorama and so on. But I don't share that view. I think that it's very entertaining.
But I find they have gotten so much better.
Yes, they have. Yes. They have improved considerably.
All right, we'll take a break, and then when we come back, the final band in the old-time steel band category.
Your Sunday Guardian, Guardian of the Nation, continues updating you with exclusive pictures and the stories of Operation Desert Storm. Don't miss our colorful carnival coverage, the Pan War in the Savannah, the Kings and Queens, the Calypsonians for the showdown at Damascus, and more. This Sunday's package also includes the SG magazine, with focus on the men at the forefront of sweet soca. To complete our package, we present the Kids in Carnival and your favorite comic strips. Be sure to get your copy of the Sunday Guardian.
An award exists that recognizes a product's quality, market penetration, and success of export sales. It is the Prime Minister's Export Award for Quality. And in 1989, it was awarded to Solo Bentley, the taste that Solo made. Open a SIRA at the Bank of Commerce and make $15,000 grow faster. SIRA offers you unmatched interest rates plus other commerce convenience features. Check the newspapers or any branch of the Bank of Commerce for more details.
Welcome back to the Queen's Park Savannah, where a hum of excitement went up the moment the DJ introduced the tune of choice of the final band tonight, Worldwide. And the tune is none other than Colin Lucas singing the band taxi Dollar. And let me tell you, when this tune was played by a junior band at the Junior Panorama, it had quite an impact here, and I expect that this is going to have no less an impact. Jocelyn, you seem quite pleased yourself when the tune came up.
I must confess, when I first heard this tune, I said, oh, you know, at the beginning of the season, I didn't like it at all. But once you're on the dance floor, jumping up, you know, and it's carnival time, and it's played, it's a new dimension. I think a lot of these soca tunes have to be experienced. To sit and listen, they're not listening music, they're dancing music. And when you get on the floor, it's a horse of a different color.
Correct. And David, apart from the excitement of the lyrical content of this, how do you see it as a tune for Pan?
I think it's good. I think badly wanted to use it with Palace, but it was Calypso Coup. But I think it has a strange twist to it.
It has a lot of one-note repetitions in it, which a lot of the bands are using in their arrangement. So you had a ready-made situation there.
Yeah.
Well, band number 6. Worldwide, which is a band that is defending their national finals that they won last year in the old-time category, will be coming to defend their title with this tune, Dollar. And looking back at some of the performances of Worldwide in the past, if we go as far back as 1986, you see that they did not qualify that year for the finals. In 1987, they were able to place third, playing Kitchener's Cockroach. And then in 1988, they placed sixth in the final after placing third at the national prelims, playing Singing Francie's tune, Cultural Controversy. In 1989, the band did not qualify for the finals. And last year, if you can just cast your mind back a bit, when they played the tune by Rupert Philo, The Swallow, Borokik Woman, they had the whole of song roaring from the preliminaries, and they were able to maintain that all the way to the final. So tonight, with a tune that has been not being selected by any of the other bands in the Panorama category or the conventional bands, Dollar, as made famous by the band Taxi and sung by Colin Lucas. We expect big things from them tonight. This band is led by Lloyd Seed Williams on an arrangement by Noel, Mico, Skair, and the pans are tuned by Herman Guppy Brown. And they're coming on stage with their dollars raising in the air and really has this crowd very excited. And David, even at this stage, you're looking at the panel on the next side, the luck of the draw in terms of a defending champion is already manifesting itself. Because I could not have thought of a better place for a defending pan to play, where you only have 6 bands performing.
Number 6.
Huh?
Dan number 6.
Dan number 6. And getting the opportunity to have the crowd at its best mood and to draw from that.
I think they're coming on with a certain amount of confidence. So.
Okay, we're going to take a break here, and then when we come back, the final band in the Panorama, the next section.
You set the trend, you are a winner. You got the blend, you got the taste. Do it in style, real smoking pleasure, the taste of satisfaction. Dumouriez, I get what I want with Dumouriez. You're doing it my way.
A woman needs a man, and man must have his name, that no one can deny. And when two lovers do, they still say I love you. On that you can rely, no matter what the future.
For classic moments, Fernandez Black Label, the classic rum. And now for something completely wonderful. Take a dip, grab a bite with some cheese, a pure delight. In the day, in the night, it's a treat, just so right. Alone or with company, digestive wheat meat biscuits from Devon.
Your Sunday Guardian, Guardian of the Nation, continues updating you with exclusive pictures and the stories of Operation Desert Storm. Don't miss our colorful carnival coverage, the Pan War in the Savannah, the Kings and Queens, the Calypsonians for the showdown at Damascus, and more. This Sunday's package also includes the SG magazine, with focus on the men at the forefront of sweet soca. To complete our package, we present the Kids in Carnival and your favorite comic strips. Be sure to get your copy of the Sunday Guardian.
Dad, are you ready? Let's see the receipt. Wow, Dad. No cup teeth in the front and back. Good, Dad. No cup teeth. Remember to brush your teeth after every meal to keep your teeth clean and strong.
Now let's see the dentist's teeth. Have you brushed your teeth yet?
Yes, see how clean?
For healthy white teeth, your family can depend on the fluoride protection of Pepsodent.
Well, And welcome back to the Savannah for the final performance in the Pan Round the Neck category. A band who has a public relations officer, Marlon Lobotan. They will play an arrangement by Noel Mico Skair. The band is managed by Stanley May. Their captain is Lloyd T. Williams. And pans tuned by Herman Guppy Brown is Dollar Wine by Taxi. Band number 6, Worldwide Steel Orchestra. from. They are located at Light Pole 17 on top of the Boldon Mountain Road in the district of St. Anne's, and they have come down here and really set the place afire with Taxi Dollar.
What a terrific tempo, and they kept it so well. Very good balance here, and in the beginning and in the end, they used the singing of the band, shouting, which added to the whole dynamic effects and so on. I like the part where there's the da-da-dee, da-da. That's like a little figure in the Calypso. They used it more than once, and the dollar rhythm there in it, and they put the melody in the guitar pan. They had some very nice jam sessions, good driving speed. I like this very much, and I thought the players here, there was evidence of very good technique throughout the band.
And I understand that this band is made up of a lot of people who are related, so it's very easy to keep this band together. And that sort of camaraderie was there in this band here tonight, Dave.
Yes, yes. Jocelyn mentioned the rhythm. I saw Noel Skair, Mico, enjoying himself with a piece of steel. And I thought that, it ran through my mind that, a fellow who does an arrangement, and at this point in time, we've seen the fruits of his labor. Mico seemed to have drawn his conclusions already. The way he had that steel, I like to see somebody play a steel like that. I like that. I found that the band was very, very energized. The electricity from the north stand, the grandstand, and the band was something out of this world.
Well, this band has certainly, and in fact all of the pan along the next side tonight, have set a beautiful tone for a night of pan here, and they must all be complimented on the outstanding performances. We take a break, and when we get back, we start looking at the conventional bands that are to come here tonight.
Growing up before our eyes, how the time goes by, precious times to cherish, special moments to share.
Fernleaf, from some of the finest dairy farms of the world in New Zealand.
Richer, creamier, Fernleaf milk. Fernleaf knows you care.
Fernleaf, trusted by mothers.
Your blood grows hot. I need the real hot, piping hot, sizzling, scorching.
Hey, before you catch fire, a cup of Shandy Carib and cool down.
Simmer, satisfying yourself, quench your thirst.
Until the next fire gets started.
Shandy Carib, the natural thirst quencher.
A woman needs a man, and man must have his need that no one can deny. And when two lovers meet, they still say, I love you. On that you can rely, no matter what the future.
For classic moments, Fernandez Black Label, the classic rum.
Commerce Convenience Teller offers you quick cash 24 hours a day. The Bank of Commerce, more than you'd expect from a bank.
In position number 1 was the Hope Pan Grove. They played Super Blues, Get Something and Wave. In position 2 was TCL Skiffle Bunch, who played Bally's Calypso Coup. Then we had the Pan on the Move from Arima. They also played Bally's Calypso Coup. In 4th position was Voices. They played Super Blues, Get Something and Wave. ACL Trinidad Nostalgic, also playing Get Something and Wave. And in the final position was Worldwide, who played Dollar. Any other thoughts about that performance, Jocelyn?
Which one? The dollar performance?
The dollar performance. Anything else musically that you wanted to mention?
They did some nice change keys, and one of them was that semitone lift, which is so nice. If the entire band just goes up a semitone, you end up in a new key with the same chording intact, you know, and they did that really well. No, I was actually looking, I was actually looking back, and I remember Skiffle Bunch did a nice change of texture, and I didn't mention it, where they just had a jamming on the seconds and the first, and they were the only band to do that tonight. And that is so effective, you know, when the whole band is playing and then everything gets cut, and you just get it jamming on two in thirds, you see? Very effective, and then the band comes back in again. I thought that was really nice.
Okay, and David, any last thoughts on all of the 6 performances?
Yes, my thought is on the choice of tune. The choices. I thought that worldwide, using dollar. Now, dollar is a tune that is an extremely popular tune, but it has been for some reason bypassed. And people miss dollar in the competition. Now, worldwide had the benefit of winning last year, but they were virtually out of the competition until the final night. So, no dollar. So, at this particular point in time, when worldwide appeared with dollar, everything was just working for them because with the first dollar at the Panorama had heard. Now that in itself is a strategy, even though it may not have been planned, because the worldwide would not have known that they would be the only band using dollar. But you see, choosing a tune is a very important part of your Panorama competition. Very important part. And I think the choice had a lot to do with worldwide performance here tonight.
Okay, well, we're going to just sit and wait for the results of that category, but we have all heard them now, and we've been very pleased and impressed by their performances. We take another break, and then when we come back, we look at the conventional bands to come.
You set the trend, you are a winner. You've got the blend, you've got the taste. Do it in style, real smoking pleasure, the taste of satisfaction. Dumouriez, I get what I want with Dumouriez. You're doing it my way.
Between the carnival and the cricket, Sunshine Snacks peanut prices have gone nuts. Imagine Sunshine Snacks large-size peanuts pack for only $1.25. That's nuts.
The most important ingredient, Golden Ray cooking margarine for that rich Caribbean flavor. There's something about a Mustang, something wild and wonderful. Now there's a chocolate sandwich biscuit that comes smothered in thick, rich chocolate. It's called Mustang, and the taste is wild.